Monday evening. Yeah, every time I see you, I feel like we're still in summers by then.
See, I got my equipment upstairs because outside I feel the cold a lot more. Here I'm fine.
In this AC.
Yeah. See, the
I'm
problem.
freezing.
See, the problem with me is if it's just cold, I don't have a problem. But if it's windy, then I am gone. Because when you go by a bike at 70, 80 on the highway, the wind, it kills you. It's that wind factor. Same in the UK. If you stay there, if it's just cold with a bit of rain, it's bearable. But if it's windy and cold, your fingers, whatever protection you wear, it's immaterial.
I don't know. Even this cold's not bearable. It is very cold. Though I must say that winters haven't really started in Delhi as they usually, at this time of the year especially, we're almost reaching mid-December. By now you have proper winter. By proper winter I mean where you have to wear body inners and on top a cardigan or a jacket. And I think the best example that I saw of whether it's winters here or not was when I played a cricket match this weekend.
Sunday.
So on a Sunday in December, I can't remember the last time I was playing in a t-shirt. Otherwise, a cricket game in the winters, one, you'd be wearing sweaters and all that. Secondly, you wouldn't want to field because your hands would be frozen and the ball would really hit you hard. But now, this time, as I played a game in almost mid-December, it was like, I'm playing like how it would be end of October, maybe early November, that's what. Winters aren't here, which is sad. But the studio is still very cold with the air condition, and yet he's wearing a t-shirt, very unlike a South Indian who usually feel cold more than, let's say North Indians. And I'm not trying to be in that sense, not being biased towards one or the other, but it's just that usually they have a tendency of feeling much colder because they're not used to it. So you're a exception to the rule.
2 decades plus up in the north.
But even I've also had 2 decades plus, but I feel cold.
I think
like normal people feel cold.
That way, in terms of cold resistance, and I can say this because again I trace roots there, nothing beats people in the east. A cold wind comes and out comes the big caps.
But that's very specific to Bengal.
Yeah, Bengal.
Because in the east it gets very cold. In the mountain region, if you're up in the hills of Arunachal, Sikkim and all that, it gets really cold.
Bengal, my God, they cannot take the cold. And again, I'm saying this as someone with Bengali roots before
temperatures go down to about 14, 12.
14, 12 is not going down. And that too will be there for maybe a week. And that time, if you go to Kolkata, you will see everyone exactly
monkey cap.
Shawl, monkey cap.
20 degrees monkey cap is
25.
25 monkey cap.
I don't really feel the cold. I actually prefer the cold. Give me cold every single day of the year for all I care. But I've seen people and I've just never.
Only 3 months for me. That's the best period. Only 3 months.
Yeah.
The 1 month of winter onset because of the pollution can't take it.
Yeah.
So, and it takes a toll on everybody's fitness at this point. Which is what is our current debate, right? On fitness.
No, what takes a toll on fitness as in winters takes a toll.
No, the pollution.
The pollution.
Pollution.
That 1 month of pollution where stepping outside is
hell.
Like, not even hell, it's a death sentence.
But this time it's been much clearer and better.
Yeah, I mean, early on it was bad. Now it's at least kind of cleared out to the point where you don't feel the need to wear an N95 every time you go out.
No, but like I was playing the game yesterday and actually I could see blue skies. Winters you rarely saw blue skies. Delhi NCR, blue skies, so weather has cleared up. It's
blue
just that
it's sunlight,
sunlight. It's just that winters haven't really come. But I hope that by the time it's like year end, after Christmas, getting into the New Year's, I hope it gets cold. At least last time also the winters were very short, maybe a month or so, a little more than a month.
Till March.
But that real winter was hardly, I think it came right
January mid.
No, it was December 31st was cold, I remember.
Oh yeah, last year December, that New Year's I was doing it at a barbecue and we were very thankful for the cold.
It was cold. In South Africa though, it's summers. Nor is it monsoon.
It's raining.
Again.
Your second T20I in Kepaherha is going to be rain.
How far is it from Durban?
About 3 hours.
This is the first time India is playing there, right?
No, they played ODIs and tests in the past in Port Elizabeth, but
It's just the name that's different.
Port Elizabeth's been renamed as Kepaherha.
Oh,
For very
PE.
Yeah.
They're playing at PE.
Yes.
PE is a beautiful place. It is next to the ocean.
Yep.
Beautiful. They have a ground there which
George's
is called by a lot of people as the Candlelight Oval or something like that, because of poorly lit floodlights that they have there. So not great lighting. That's one criticism that's there when it comes to PE. But it's a day and night game, so hopefully they've worked on the light. I'm talking about like more than a decade ago. That's where it was called the Candlelight Oval or something like that.
Crusaders Oval. I remember that is also the name. St. George's Park.
Is the official name.
Yeah. Crusaders ground and also the Candlelight Oval.
Yeah. So it's a smallish ground. Lots of runs there. You'll get big scoring matches. The other interesting bit is that the earlier game was at 7:30. This one's 8:30. I noticed. So the last two games that you have are 8:30 starting India time. So that means it will go on for a little more longer. So the end time also moves. But that is provided we get any sort of game. The other thing to know about PE, I remember they have that famous band that comes and plays, and that's very specific to Port Elizabeth. That's where I think the band comes, and you might be hearing them when the game happens and if the game happens. So over to the weatherman. What's the latest?
It's not looking good for Kepaherha at this point in time, because again they said about 40 to 50% area of Port Elizabeth could be impacted by rain, and since it's the ocean, it could linger around. Yeah.
So
it's Western Cape, right? It's in the Western part? Western Cape near the ocean?
I think so. And I can't remember.
Because you have been there.
I have, but I remember it's I think it's towards the south.
Southwestern side. Cape Town is Western Cape. PE is southwestern. Johannesburg is towards the east. If I am not, Durban is the easternmost point, if I am not mistaken. Johannesburg is northeastern towards Zimbabwe. So maybe that's the situation there.
Takes you back to the days of old when T20As had just started and you'd have one-off T20As. That's potentially what you're having in this 3-match series. A one-off T20A.
Oh God. And that too, Johannesburg, it's cloudy. But they expect the rain to stay away there. It's sandwiched. See, 4 days prior to the T20A, it's raining. The match day, it's cloudy, but it's expected to stay away.
So
next 4 days, your ODI is going to get impacted.
So I was right, it's down south in the center. Down south, bang down south.
Yep. Good memories for India in Kepaherha. Although they don't have a good record there, but Kapil Dev, it is.
They've changed the name of the place.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Port Elizabeth, pretty obvious why they did that.
No. I'm not asking why, but
Yeah,
they have.
The city's name has been changed.
Oh, I thought, sometime what happens, you come up with a new venue which is on the suburbs, and so that is called something else, and so, which is why.
Kepaherha.
No more PE.
GQERBA.
It is happening with a lot of these countries where the Europeans took over, like South Africa, like New Zealand, like Australia. Then now there's some sort of appropriation where you're realizing that the indigenous population, they need to have their identity. Those names happening a lot in New Zealand and in Australia also.
Yes.
New Zealand, in fact, will in a while no longer be known as New Zealand. They'll
Aotearoa, the Maori name.
The Maori name.
Yep. And Maori's now become the official language also, second official language that you have to use. Like how in Wales, Welsh and English, same, Maori and English in that sense.
Interesting. What's the news from the Indian team? One bit I did read about is that Deepak Chahar, which we had reported earlier also, has still not joined the team. He may not be there for the entire duration of the T20I series, which is, another opportunity missed for him. I know we're not blaming him, nobody should, because he's going through a bit of family trouble, his dad not keeping well, and he wants to spend some time, which is understandable. But imagine he's so unlucky in that sense. He either is injured or there's some other issue that he needs to address, which means that he doesn't consistently get a chance to continue playing, which is sad.
Exactly. And then the next.
Pawan,
the next bit of news, if you have to look at it, the England squad has been announced for the India tests.
Yeah, they already announced.
They've announced the squad 2 months prior to
More than 2 months, right? No,
January
20.
So 1.5 months. 3 uncapped guys in that.
2 of whom are spinners.
Sohail Bashir from Somerset.
And Tom
Hartley.
What I want to know that did the English media and everyone know that the squad will be announced?
Yeah.
Okay. That's more important. Because in our case, firstly, the squad will be announced just before.
Yeah.
And secondly, nobody will know when. It'll just come like a bolt from the blue.
No, there I'd already begun reading news reports. In fact, Tom Hartley was a name that was doing the rounds in the British media cycle, saying that he was one person who would definitely be called up.
Yep.
That happened.
2 finger spinners, 1 leg spinner, and 1 left arm orthodox.
So technically 3 finger spinners.
Oh, so they're coming prepared for
In fact, there are
typical
2 left
Indian
armers.
pitches.
Tom Hartley is a
Left arm, yeah.
Shoaib Bashir is an off spinner,
Off
right
spinner.
arm. And
Rehan
then-
is a leg spinner.
Yeah,
right?
Rehan is a leggy.
So they're all coming prepared.
Yep.
4 spin options and no Chris
Fine.
Wokes.
Fine.
Joe Root.
Root.
A man has a 5-wicket haul in India. I can't discount that.
No, but what I like is that they're coming prepared. They know what to expect, and you're going to get those pitches. Even though we heard from the coach and Brendan McCullum a short while ago, where he said, a few days ago, where he said, we are going to still continue to play the way we do. That's our style. We'll continue. And then I also heard another statement where it said, make turners at your own peril. Was that Butler who said it? Or
No, that was not in fact one of the English players. That was, I think, Alyssa Healy.
Yeah, Alisa Healy, Australian women's team.
They
Because-
also said, yeah.
Because they are also coming to India now after the
They
test.
were one-off test.
But I don't think for women's game we've been making.
I mean, to be fair, there was a Turner on offer for the T20I series. For a test, they'll be serving up something worse.
Yeah,
what
and DY
happened?
Patil.
What happened? You lost the T20, I see.
Oh, because you had better spinners in the England camp.
So let's not do that.
Yeah. You got
Let's not
Jess
do that.
Jonathan.
You got Jess Jonathan of all people.
Forget her, Ash Gardner.
Exactly.
She took an 8-wicket haul in that one-off test match in England. Good luck. And
Good on England.
Yep.
Very well organized. Have announced their team.
Yeah.
That will be Tory. But what I love is a man there, James Anderson,
Eternal.
continues to play and play and play. And the other thing is that, of course, because he's aging, he's lost a bit of nip in that bowling that he had. But what I like is that pretty easy for him to say, no, I continue bowling in English conditions where it's going to be some sort of assistance, and he's that kind of a bowler. And because if you lost a bit of zip, then it's better to be bowling in conditions that are conducive to your style of bowling. Yet he's coming to India where you're going to be getting turners, where fast bowlers probably stop bowling after the first couple of hours on day one and never get a chance. Yet he's like, no, I like that attitude. I like that attitude. Unlike fast bowlers of the past, even the biggest names would refuse to come to India because they would be like, oh, those conditions are not going to be helpful for us and no point us even going there.
Yeah.
And in those days you didn't even get these square turners, and yet they refused to travel because bowling in India, fast bowling in India was hard work. And I like this.
He was
James Anderson, who's ready to work hard in conditions that are not going to help him, and yet say, no, I'll bowl. And the only way you can be successful if you keep bowling and bowling and bowling is doing that. Thumbs up, man.
He was the guy who
Timmy Anderson.
He was the guy who set up the 2012 series win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And 2021, that Chennai test, that spell.
But that's 11 years ago. That's why I'm saying.
Time is immaterial. See,
I like
Alistair
it.
Cook's
Good attitude.
entire tenure, he's retired, he's now Sir, but Anderson's still playing.
Stuart Broad
Brendan McCullum.
Yes, Stuart Broad was mentored by Anderson.
He's retired.
He's retired. But the mentee is still...
Andrew
Liking
Strauss,
it, loving it.
director of cricket, he's done all that. Anderson's still playing.
Rob Key also has played when Jimmy Anderson was a regular across formats. He's director of cricket. Ashley Giles' tenure as director of cricket is done. James Anderson is still playing somewhere.
Aussie commentators, Hayden, Watson and all, they have all gone to the commentary box.
Mitch Johnson.
He's still playing.
Phenomenal.
Anderson,
Good on you. He's fit.
Only one of the few things to come good from
How old is 38?
He's 40 now.
40 now?
Yeah.
Easily.
Stuart Broad was 37 when he retired, I think.
Yeah.
So
20-year career.
41.
Jimmy.
Loving it.
Ajay.
But he is quite fit at 41.
Supremely fit. Yeah.
But is he as fit as our 35-year-olds?
He might be. I think he is supremely fit, Anderson.
See, it helps that he restricted or was restricted pretty much to one format by the
2015.
ECB. By 2015, they just said, no, you're not playing white ball cricket. And that's not to say he doesn't play domestically, but not having that rigor of being a 3-format bowler really extended his career.
Liking it. So Jimmy Anderson is fit. Are Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli fit? That's the topic of the dugout that we have today. Which has been prompted by a statement that has been made, and it actually caught my attention because there were a few folks in the morning tagged me on social media saying, read this. Now, because there have been times where people have been uncharitable to Rohit Sharma in terms of when it comes to his fitness. So now that the trainer has said it, it's opened up a Pandora's box, and there are opinions on various sides, and social media is abuzz with all of that. So what's he said? Firstly, I'd want to know.
Yeah, so Ankit Kalyar, who's the strength and conditioning coach of the BCCI, for the Indian cricket team, he stated that in an interview with Times of India, he stated...
He's not with the team currently, is he?
No, not at this point, but then he has worked with them.
Yeah, because I was traveling, he wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, the physio is a guy called Rajni who's been looking after there. Yeah. But of course, lest you forget, even if somebody is not traveling with the team doesn't mean he's not working, because a lot of people work at the NCA.
He may be juggling between Indian cricket team and NCA in that sense.
So what's he said?
So he stated in that interview that Rohit Sharma is a fit player. He has good fitness. He looks a bit bulky, but he always passes the yo-yo test. He's as fit as Virat Kohli. He said that his agility and mobility is amazing. He is among the fittest cricketers.
That's interesting.
And he goes on to say, you can go ahead on. He also dispelled the myth that, okay, if you fail a yo-yo test, there's a general consensus where, okay, that guy is unfit. He can't play international cricket. He says, no. If a player hasn't passed the yo-yo test, this doesn't tag him as an unfit player. He says that, okay, cricketers are playing all year long. In the past, you had only 40, 50 games in the 90s or the 2000s. Now you're playing close to 100 games in the whole year. There might be an injury. There might have been something that he picked up throughout those 100 games. So now we have to focus on that, work on it, prepare the schedule, prepare the strength and conditioning regime according to that. But that doesn't mean he's unfit as a cricketer. No, the yo-yo test is just a parameter. 17 is the score that you have to get or more. You are then the fittest cricketer, which Virat Kohli consistently gets, and I think even Shubman Gill also gets those scores on a consistent basis. So the thing about Rohit Sharma is every fan base in India, they have gone to a lot of lengths to ensure that, okay, Rohit is tagged as an unfit cricketer. But my major question is, appearances can be deceiving. We have heard that term quite often. And in the case of Rohit Sharma, I think, conveniently, most of them are saying, oh, he's looking bulky, he can't be fit. That isn't working in modern day cricket, I feel, nowadays. If he's performing well in the field, if he's having good fitness, hardly gets injured.
Running well, hardly gets injured is a bit this thing, but running well between the wickets.
See, his last external injury that he had, it was an external injury against Bangladesh. It wasn't as oh, he's fatigued.
But that was a freak injury.
Yes. But look at Virat. Virat is an alpha male. But it is visually, it is representative. But in the case of Rohit, his fitness is visually not representative. That is the problem. Appearances can be deceiving. It holds true for Rohit Sharma. Because, see, if he's got that fitness, he's passing the yo-yo test. Doesn't the debate have to end right there? But again, such is the negativity prevalent. We have read the comments. We have seen the toxicity that's there. They are questioning his interpretation also. Ankit Kalyar's interpretation. That, oh, you have to check his credentials also.
No, I wouldn't go so far as to question his credentials. But all I'm saying is, why do we have to also take what he's saying at face value? I'm saying, you know, if I am with the team, you know, let's say I'm part of sports today, right? And that somebody has an opinion that Siddharth is very mean, right? He's basing that opinion on what he may have seen. Now, since I am in sports today and since he's part of my team, it is but natural that I may not publicly say things against Siddharth. I may believe in it or not is another thing. Not publicly say. Publicly, I may be defending him. So, because we're in the same team. So, in that sense, Ankit's opinion here can be looked at both ways. I don't have any reason to doubt his credentials, because if he is part of the Indian team, who are we? And that is something that I do not like. People on social media will start questioning. You yourself are, maybe 30 kilo overweight, sitting in your bed, scratching your head the whole day, and won't be able to run like 50 meters, but you'll question somebody who's, done the hard yards, studied and reached that level. So, firstly, anyone who does that, I think should best ignored. I think the people who needed to make that decision and take him there, that's how he reached there. So, I'm not doubting his credential, but all I'm saying is sometimes it's like, with a team, we listen to a press conference, we are journalists, we go to a press conference, certain things are said, certain things we know may be true or not, and everything that is said, we're not going to take it at face value. That's our job, right? It's our job to dig deep and then find out, because what is being said is being one perspective from one side. So, as I said, if he says whatever he says, can we, with our eyes closed, trust everything he says? Maybe not. Again, not doubting his credentials. He's far more qualified in this level than we are. That's the first bit. So, nothing wrong with his credential, but I'm not also taking everything he says at face value, because there are a few things that he said, and I'm going to just break them out one by one. Rohit Sharma is a fit player, he says, right? I have no reason to doubt that.
Yeah.
He is passing a comment, he says he's a fit player, but you got to understand, fitness is a very big generic term, and fitness for everyone is very different, right? Fitness for being a marathon runner is very different to a fitness of being a casual weekend cricketer, to a fitness of being a over 40 football player, to a fitness of a 50-year-old, and so on and so forth. Different brand. But he says Rohit Sharma is a fit player. I'm not going to doubt it. I'm assuming when he says that, he's judging him on the basis of being an international cricketer, right?
Yep.
No other parameter. That's what he's judging. It's not a generic statement as in just a fit person. Yeah. He's saying fit player. So I'm assuming he means fit in terms of an international cricketer. He goes on to say that he has good fitness. Okay, no reason to doubt him if he's saying that. He looks a bit bulky, but he always passes the yo-yo test. This is very interesting. So, first things first, he says that, he has good fitness to play cricket. And why I'm not doubting that is, what is a fitness for a good fitness for a cricketer? And he's a batter, predominantly a batter, and then mostly fielding and captain. Can he stand on the field for 90 overs and field? Has he been doing that?
Yes.
He's been doing that. Can he bat because he's a batter? Does his fitness of his bat good enough for him to bend and face ball after ball if he's playing a test inning when he gets 100? Yes. Is there enough? Does he do that?
Yes.
He gets that. Does he have good hamstring and various other muscles to ensure that he does that running between the wicket, whether it's in ODI cricket, T20 or test matches for long duration? Does he do that?
Yes.
I think he does it as much as any other cricketer. I don't think he's been found wanting on that. So I am of the firm belief that we don't even need an Ankit to tell us.
Yes.
To the naked eye, when we watch cricket, all of us, I think that the proof of the pudding is in its eating, and you can evidently see it that he does it day in and day out as much that he does. So I think I've never found any issue with Rohit Sharma's fitness as of now, because you should be judging a player on what he does on the field, and there are innumerable examples of, go back and I've given it in the past, a David Boone, because he says, right, he doesn't look very thin, but there, a David Boone never looked fit. Rohit Sharma and David Boone, if they stood together, Rohit will look like one lanky, thin person, yes. Right? Similar for Merv Hughes, similar for Arjuna Ranatunga, for Gatting, Graham Gooch. I can think of lots of players like that. The thing is that they could bat for 3 sessions in a day in a test match and not get tired. They could get 100 in an ODI game and not get tired. Rohit, for that matter, has got double hundreds. So you require immense fitness to be able to do that, not to run out of breath. And for those of you who play even casual cricket, you know that if you get to a 50, you would be dog tired, and your tiredness is not just running between the wickets, it's tiredness because of your back muscle, your hamstring muscles, then your hand, leg, everything is coming under a lot of pressure. Need that muscle, and the fact that he continues to hit towards the end of the inning and doesn't tire out and get out because he's tired is enough proof that he's fit enough to be playing at the highest level. And I've never seen any evidence to the contrary till now, ever, unless he's injured. And I can't think of any other cricketer who's not been injured. So how a person looks should not be the judgment of his fitness. So what he said, what Mr. Ankit has said, hasn't come as a surprise to me, and I'm only restricting ourselves to the first 3 lines. We'll get to the real lines. Has it surprised any one of you who thought that?
No, not at all. I mean, he was hitting sixes for fun even at this point in the World Cup. You saw how effortless, and did he get an injury? No. Was he running between the wickets? Yes. Field mobility and everything, was he taking catches, but fielding well? Absolutely. So and that too, conditions were much more inhuman in different conditions. Mumbai, for example, he did it. He somehow did it.
Not somehow, I think he's fit. That's why he did it. So don't judge anybody. Don't judge the book by its cover, as often said. By the way, he doesn't even look too bulky to me. I don't know. As I said, the ones that I've compared, maybe I come from that old school where I really did see bulky cricketers. So in comparison, it looks rather fit to me.
I know, I mean.
But also you got to remember, I just want to give an example. I just was reminded. You also got to remember that, people have different body types also.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean they're unfit. And why I remembered is, I wish, because someone who worked with us was Robin Uthappa. He worked with us. And I remember speaking to him very early. If you remember, there was a time when he was playing the IPL. He had a lot of weight around his belly area. He's right now supremely fit. But the thing is, at that time, he wasn't unfit. Is it that some people are the body type and tendency, so they'll eat like very little, even workout, and yet put that kind of body mass, and some won't. So it's because someone looks thinner and with a chiseled face. Some people have a roundish face and some weight around the belly. Does not necessarily mean that they're unfit. It's also the body type. So sometimes that could be the reason, not necessarily that he's fit. The other thing that sometimes, I'm just saying image, how it works. Because Rohit's always looked at is this, he has a lazy persona, everyone knows that, right? He is
laid back,
lazy, relaxed. So sometimes that's also perceived as him not being fit, which is wrong. I'm just saying it's an extension of the personality. Somebody would be like really lazy or laid back or whatever. Somewhere I read like Usain Bolt is pretty much like that, quite laid back, very lazy in general. But you put him on the track and you know what he can do, right? So the personality type, you sometimes, because he comes with that reputation, people talk about it, that laid back, lazy. Also sometimes you'll see him talking like that in a laid back manner. So all of that extends to this image that he's not. But the fact that he's playing, has never seen unfit to any one of us, is proof enough that he's fit. But the other points that I wanted to know. One, he says that he always passes the yo-yo test. Are you 100% sure about what he said?
See, no, BCCI has never made any yo-yo test record official. Whatever is through leaks. And the BCCI is not in a mood to share any data with journalists in India.
Either leaks or people posting it on their Instagram
sources.
stories. No, Instagram stories.
Instagram stories.
Yeah, but then they were asked
so much reprimanding.
Yep. So,
but I can't understand what's the problem.
This point, he always passes the yo-yo test. Take it with a pinch of salt. Take it with a pinch of salt, because it is never out in the public domain. And such is the nature of the BCCI. Even if I file an RTI Act, I can't get that information from them.
No, because it doesn't come under the purview of an RTI. It's a private body.
Yep.
So you can't. But let me tell you, a few years ago, reliable sources had told us that he may not have passed a fitness test. Which, by the way, I don't think is a crime. Firstly, it's just perceived as that. Secondly, I don't think yo-yo test should even be there to judge a player's fitness for cricket.
Yep.
Is he a 400-meter runner?
No.
Or something like that, where he needs to be like that? He's not, right? Well, you judge, you come up with tests where you want to see his fitness. As I said, let him play a match If he can get to 100 without huffing and puffing and not get out, why would you need to see fitness? Okay, for a batter you want to see, because you're like, will he slow the other partner down for running between the wickets? If he's not doing it, check, tick. What is the other thing you want to see? Does he get tired by the time he reaches 60, 70? Because if he does, he'll throw his wicket away. That's also not good. But if he's not doing it, check, fit. What else you need? Does he make himself available for most games? I'm not talking about workload management or taking breaks is another thing. But is he always, injured consistently and always, every 2 games then gets injured, can't play? That's not happening. Another box tick. Because 3-4 boxes are ticked, for me, a player should be eligible to play. The only judgment you should have on the fitness are these parameters, and the remaining is his form. If he's in form, he's getting you runs and he passes all these little things that I said. That's all you need to see. Just because some other sport, sometimes he gets other sport in football and wherever else, they must have come up with yo-yo test and that whatever 2-kilometer dash and various other things that they do now. Doesn't mean you need to have it in cricket. Don't need it. It's a different sport, different skill set. You don't need it. As long as he's doing this, it's like a lot of places, like if somebody has an asthma, he may not be able to pass particular tests, but he could still be the best squash player in the world, hypothetically. Yes. But if you put that thing, doesn't matter. If he's best and if he's winning matches in squash, that means he's running around. He's able to have that kind of fitness. What's the point of making him go through a test which may not be able to replicate the sport that he's playing? So, 2 things on this statement. I am not sure that I'm going to take this thing that he's always passed the yo-yo test, because we know that he may have not passed it once or twice. But even if that happened, I don't see anything wrong with it. So long as he's getting runs and he can play, there should be no yo-yo test. I'm just going back to it. Should not be any yo-yo test. You judge a player on various different. Let me give an example. Like that MS Dhoni may not have been the fittest now. Maybe now if you make him go, not the earlier MS Dhoni. Now the earlier MS Dhoni was supremely fit. Maybe now make him go through a yo-yo test. He may not be good enough. But if he's getting you runs, helping your team win, and can run between the wicket to help you, I'll take it, right?
Exactly.
So, and though that's an extreme example, but I only gave an extreme example just to let you know that what is it that you need. So 2 things are the statement. I'm not sure the first bit is right, that always passes the yo-yo test. The other, that is as fit as Virat Kohli, also I don't buy that statement, because while we've all agreed that there is nothing to suggest that Rohit is unfit, and I think he should continue to play. I think he still has a few years to play. I see nothing wrong in his fitness. But to say that he's as fit as Virat Kohli, also you'll have to take it with not a pinch, with a bag full of salt. I don't know. Do you guys agree?
I mean, see, Virat is an alpha male, but then Shane, you...
See, with fitness, I think right now among all cricketers, Kohli probably is right up there as far as the gold standard. There's no shame in not being as fit as him.
Exactly.
So I don't know. This seems like it's a bit of a golden coat of paint. You're trying to make it seem better than it is. I mean, if Kohli is a 9.5 and Rohit is a 9, just for example, there's nothing wrong with being a 9.
No, if Virat is, let's say, a 9.5 and Rohit is an 8, hypothetically,
great.
But if you only need 6 to be part of the team, well, he's way above that anyway. So done. Not everyone can be the same, right? So this also is a bit of an exaggeration.
It is. See, Virat Kohli, no one can match his fitness.
No people can. I think in cricket, I think that's what I'm saying. It's sometimes a lot of perception. I agree with you that Rohit is probably Virat is probably one of the fittest cricketers going around. If I'm going to talk about internationally, there'll be a lot of cricketers that will match him, probably even better him. Okay. And I can give you an Indian example. I think Ravindra Jadeja could match him. It's just that and by the way, they're the same age. They played the under 19 cricket at the same time.
Yep.
It's just that, and I don't think it's anyone's fault or someone has done it consciously. It just happens. Narratives are formed. And I completely agree that Virat has set a standard which a lot of people should follow. But why don't we even talk about Ravindra Jadeja? He's the same age. They played under 19 the same. He could probably be even more fitter than him. He could be. Or even if he's not, I think it's a close call there. Whatever way. But I'm saying, why is it that he's not mentioned in the same breath? Whenever you're giving examples of fitness, every time there's a fitness talk, everyone talks Virat Kohli, which is good. He should be. But Jadeja too, boss. He's been playing international cricket for a very long time.
Yes.
He's the same vintage. And he does bowling, batting, fielding, extra workload. And he's as fit, can run as quick, can throw, do whatever. He's available for as many games. everything.
A precursor to Virat or Jaddu, our head coach, Rahul Dravid.
He was
Supremely fit.
He was, but I guess the fitness in those days slightly looked at differently.
We're looking for contemporary examples. Virat's best friend, AB. AB was supremely fit. People only focus on AB's genius.
Faf.
I was coming to him. He was the next. If you're talking about the aesthetic kind of fitness, when you look at someone, Pap du Plessis, man, does not look like he's pushing 40.
But actually, if you take any fast bowler, I doubt any batter would be able to. I think what you praise a Virat for is a batter being so fit, because batting was never looked at. Any fast bowler, like for example, I remember, and I clearly remember speaking to Virat. I did an interview long ago, one of the interviews that I had done, where we spoke about fitness in general, and I did speak to him because at that time it had been just a year or two where he had had a complete transformation. I did speak to him, and he mentioned, but I have no, and he said, like, I know I'm fit and everyone talks about it, but you talk about fitness, you have to see how fit Umesh Yadav is.
Yes.
So again, all fast bowlers are supremely fit. Like you won't, no batter would come close. And I'm including a Jadeja and a Virat who I just praised. But just that how we perceive, how we look at, and who becomes the role model for fitness may not necessarily be the fitness. There'll be lots of other guys. I mean, Shami may look like that. Again, I'm going by appearances, but for a man who can bowl, 10 overs in an ODI game, 20 overs in a test match during a day, has to be extremely fit. Bumrah, again, a lot of them. So there'll be many guys within the Indian team, forget international, will be as fit as that. But to say that Rohit is as fit as Virat, no, I'm not buying that.
I mean, see, he's got his fitness right up there. Virat is next level along with Jadeja and all the others, but yes, Rohit is not an unfit cricketer.
That I agree. Get rid of.
I mean, see, as I had mentioned, appearances can be deceiving. But if you're contributing in the game of cricket, appearances just don't matter. Just ask Inzamam Ulhaq.
Yeah, another great example.
So
that's a good example.
Inzamam, I mean, to have lasted more than 100 tests, had a 15-year career. Sure, he was comical in running between the wickets, but that was misjudgment. It wasn't an unfit thing. Sure, he would trundle, but
that was misjudgment. I mean, even the Monty Python dismissal, he could have done about that. He script.
By the way, runouts, he's not on top of the list. It is Dada.
That doesn't surprise me.
And he wasn't bulky or he wasn't fat or anything. Misjudgment.
It was just indecisiveness. Yes. Because I remember that I think I spoke to Dada once, and he did mention that in a lot of these sprints that you would have, Dada was very quick. He was one of the quicker guys. But it's like, see, running between the wicket is a completely different skill. Which requires, one is the judgment, your decisiveness. The other is also like stop-start sort of running, which is very different to just bolting like a horse, right? Very different. So
and Dada, I remember he used to play football in his college days. So he would have not have been unfit in that regard at all. And again, football is one sport where if you play certain positions, you have to be able to pick up your pace. He was good at that. He just didn't have short bursts. Or not always, at least not in the later stages of his career.
Even in short bursts, he wasn't bad. But as I said, like short bursts has to just, if I make you run a 50-meter dash, vis-a-vis running between the wickets, quite different skill. Because you just run 22 yards, move back, and all of that. And sometimes it's also eagerness, as I said, decisiveness, that I want to go. So you start that second early, vis-a-vis if you're a bit hesitant. So that makes a difference. So you may run quick, but if you started a bit late, that makes a huge difference.
And sometimes even as you say, over eagerness. If you're talking about decisiveness, I think it was one time, I think it was Lakshman and Ganguly who managed to have a head-on collision.
So that's coordination.
Most Sri Lankan cricketers would laugh at this particular situation in India about fit, unfit. Rangana Herath. Where was he? An epitome of 8-pack abd cricketer.
I mean, Malinga towards the later stages of his career.
Carried a proper belly.
Murli had to beef up so that he could bowl many more overs. Aravinda.
Guru Singh.
Guru Singh. Asanka Guru Singh. And remember, Aravinda would come for domestic matches, he would be munching on a fish one. And then he would just be playing. That is the kind of thing that Aravinda had.
I'm okay with that. As long as your running between the wicket is good, you can bat long, you can field for the full overs, and you're not misfielding all the time, all of that is there. You can dive for the ball with that weight. If all of that happens, fine.
Exactly. That's why this fitness test.
You could be like really thin and you can't just dive. What's the point of?
I mean, in looking at Nikhil's example, the thin guy, but then he was so frequently injured. Bruce Reed.
Ashish Nehra.
Ashish Nehra. Great in yo-yo tests, but frail body.
In fact, Bruce Reed and Ashish Nehra would have actually even worked together.
No, but Bruce Reed was really thin.
No, I'm thinking they worked together, no? Because Reed used to be the coach of the Indian team also. When Nehra was a player, active player.
He was a bowling coach.
Yes, bowling coach.
3-4, he was a bowling coach along with the John Wright.
Bruce Reed, yep. So imagine, at one point in time, even Zahir Khan was so injury prone, but then he had to later beef up.
No, but then I think with Zahir it was the opposite. He was injury prone because he was very beefed up and he had an almighty leap. His leap was so much. I remember towards the end of his career, he didn't leap at all. It's just load up and then.
He smartened up as a bowler. He developed a lot of
variations. His reverse
which
swing
would help.
Master.
His reverse swing in white ball cricket.
And you're in red ball, deadly.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story. I'll never forget. This is 2005 in Bangladesh. The tour. Test match 4 and 5.
4, 5.
Yeah. So the test match, first test match Dhaka, where Sachin got the 34th.
Yes.
Equaled Gavaskar's record. After the game, I remember that was a game where Irfan picked up the man
Was that the match where Zahir and Sachin shared that record partnership for the 10th wicket or something?
I can't remember that. But I remember Irfan was picking up a lot of wickets in both test matches in Chittagong and at the end of at Dhaka. That time it was at Bangabandhu in Dhaka.
Bangabandhu.
And then I remember at the end of the tour, and Irfan that time getting the ball to swing, you could bring the ball into the right-hander, and all of that was missing from Zahir's armory, right? Zahir had pace but didn't have those many variations, no reverse swing at the time, could not bring the ball in. And I remember him being very distraught, and he spent after the test match got over, finished pretty early, maybe in Chittagong if I'm not mistaken. The second test was Chittagong, I think, may have been Chittagong. And after that, Wasim was there commentating. So he got Wasim Akram and spent an hour, teach me, I need to develop. Because he must have felt that, listen, am I going to lose out? Here's another left armer who's getting the ball to come back in, also taking it out. I don't have that skill. How do I evolve? And he spent a few hours with Wasim to develop that. And then after that, went for county cricket.
Worcestershire.
Spent a season. And then when he came back, so all I'm saying is that he must have done a lot of things, but he really put his heart and soul into how do I become better as a bowler? How do I develop various deliveries, variation things? And he was dropped, I think, from the team after that sometime. He made a comeback. It was a Challenger, I remember interviewing him. Challenger series that happened in Chennai, if I'm not mistaken. Could have been Chennai or Bangalore, one of the. Chennai, I think. And that Challenger happened, and then he spoke about things. And when he came back, then he got all those different variations going. And then he was a different bowler. So, that hunger to do well, to evolve, to become better, that's really what changed Zahir Khan. And Irfan Pathan unknowingly played a role in that. Sometimes you need someone to,
motivate you,
wake you up. And it happened.
Luckily, right place, right time. He had the master to teach him.
Started with Wasim.
And Wasim, to be fair, was very open to sharing tricks with the
He still is. I mean, I cannot forget that masterclass that they had in England, where they have that, man, he troubled Atherton and Hussain like they were novices. That session.
No, even now,
swing,
a year or 2 years ago, that
bushfire appeal.
2 steps he took, but when he bowled the ball, he'd make it talk.
It reminds me of this one story. I think it was Brett Lee on his YouTube channel. He gave about his time in KKR. That time Wasim was the bowling coach. He said Jacques Kallis is in the nets, and all of us are bowling at him, trying to get this man out, and he's blocking everything like it's no one's business. Wasim just laughed. He said, "Give me the ball." Took the ball from him in dress shoes. Took 3 steps. And third ball, he had Jacques Kallis bowled. He was getting the ball to move, and Brett Lee was just like, "How is this guy still doing it?"
But that
was Wasim for you.
Legend. A true magician.
He was. सवाल है पवन जी.
Wasim.
Oh yeah.
That would be my one dream, if ever, just to meet Wasim Akram.
Probably one of the most approachable guys.
Very friendly.
Yep.
Very friendly. He's worked with us here. Okay.
Okay, that's
Let's
the
take.
first.
His name is Prabhu. I'm
Prabhu
guessing.
Shri, Prabhu.
Okay.
Prabhu is like saying, man, for the last 3 years, Rohit has been India's best test batsman along with Pant.
Agreed.
Totally.
100% agree, Prabhu.
Interesting that he mentions Pant also. Another person who
Yeah,
tends to get
agreed.
tagged.
Absolutely agree.
And also fitness-wise, bit bulky.
A bit bulky, but phenomenal, and someone who keeps wickets. Come on, how are you questioning the man's fitness?
Your
Keeping wickets
ultimate
right?
match winner you had in tests here.
Yeah.
Ultimate match winner. That just speaks volume about the stamina for staying at the crease. Exactly. Fastest 250 in ODI, Rohit Sharma, most runs in WTC.
Yeah.
Test matches, that's the pinnacle where you judge people from.
Agreed. Harish Madisetti.
Has Rohit Sharma batted for 50 overs to check his fitness?
Well, he got 3 double hundreds.
Yes.
Almost batted, right?
Almost
So,
batted.
what else do you want?
At every single point in time, Rohit has done it.
And I think where we've reached in the ODI game, you don't want anyone to bat 50 overs.
No.
I think 30 overs is enough.
It's fine.
In the modern era, it's fine. Yes.
I want to take Hitesh Vijaykar's
Yeah.
comment. What is he saying? He's saying, कितने पैसे मिले रोहित शर्मा से?
You tell us, Hitesh.
No, let
Even-
me
yeah,
check.
I didn't get any messages.
No, I hope I have. I'm just checking my account has been credited.
No, Hitesh. No messages. I checked my account just doing the show. No.
Maybe it'll come. Hitesh, don't worry.
You did send him the correct UPI, right?
I think I may have sent him the wrong UPI. I'll send him the correct one.
Yeah. After the show, we'll send him the right UPI. He will transfer us. Don't worry. We'll share that message with you, my friends.
Someone was talking about this being anti-Rohit and everything, and this guy is now saying we're pro-Rohit. So in the same live stream, we've had people from two different. Very good.
Okay, Sanjay Singh, what's he saying?
I would say cricket is the sport where fitness doesn't require as much as other sports. So there's no point to compare.
It's a fair point because we were just talking about batting, but I'll just extend that to bowling too. I have nothing against players probably getting fitter and whatever, Dyer, program G. But tell me, yesterday's bowlers, we were just talking about Wasim Akram. There were so many other fast bowlers.
Courtney Walsh.
So many. There were I just run out from Malcolm Marshall to Michael Holding to Lilly to Thomo. So many, right? They could all bowl 20-25 overs in a day, bowl quick, wouldn't allow their pace to drop, all of that. So it's not that fitness is not needed, it's a different kind of fitness that's needed for this sport. Tennis will have a completely different sort of fitness that you need compared to football.
Yeah.
Yep.
So every sport is going to be different. Your rest times are different. Your bursts are different. Which way? See, it's basically how your body releases the energy. Energy is roughly the same, right? Each of us carry. It's how you release it, at what pace you release it. All of that has to be looked at, right? Fitness for a marathon is very different from a sprinter also. Both runners, so it's quite different. And as I said, you judge by not those conventional yo-yo and 2-kilometer runs. Just judge them with the sport that they play. At any time when you find them playing the sport, whether it's a fast bowler, a spinner, a batter, being deficient in the job that they've got to do because of their fitness, then pull him up and give him a task. No, you got to get better. Whichever way you do it, get better and come back. I'll give you another story. You see, what happens is you do not realize what is the kind of fitness that you need. So a very interesting story, and it's shared. I won't take his name because I haven't taken his permission ever to share the story, although it doesn't show him in poor light or anything. But a batter, very well-known batter for India Test cricket, he used to do running around the ground, like typical thing, getting fitness. So do 10 rounds, 15, 20. That stamina kept increasing. Would do a lot of rounds, just like either cooling down, warming up, whatever. And after many years, one of the trainers said that you shouldn't have been doing it. What it did was that takes away your ability to release energy quicker. So your muscles, we have fast twitch muscles and slow twitch muscles. You need slow twitch muscles for marathon because that same energy has to be released gradually so that you last those many kilometers. Because you was a batter, you sometimes need to release the energy quickly because your running is zoop quickly there, and then you can wait, rest, load up more energy, come back. So you need fast twitch muscles, not as much as a sprinter, but see, that's what I'm saying, the balance. But all that running, what it did was slowly change the nature of your muscle. It doesn't happen overnight, but it did it years and continuously kept doing it, kind of changed it. So takes away your ability to release energy quicker. He may not have had the most amazing fast twitch muscles as a sprinter, but whatever he had was reduced a bit, and of course it got better in slow release, slow twitch, which meant that because, as I said, his stamina increased, and from 10 he could do 20 to 30 to 40 rounds, but in a way took away that ability to run fast between the wickets. So that's how you need, guys, particular trainers to tell you exactly what you need to do based on what you are doing, whether you're a batter, bowler, spinner, whatever.
Just curious, you've been to a lot of cricket grounds. How much is one round if you run on a cricket field?
No idea. It should be. It should.
A kilometer?
No chance. Much less.
Much less.
Much less. Yeah, much less. Much less.
Kilometers or 1,000 meters. Just
It'll be no. It'll be about 500, 600 meters. I'm guessing somewhere. Rough estimate. I'm telling.
Because again,
it'll be slightly bigger, because I'm just trying to compare. Slightly bigger than the 400 run that I see on a track. Slightly bigger, but also nowhere close to a kilometer. So maybe somewhere there.
500-600 meters.
Something
probably.
like that. Could be.
Okay.
It's my rough calculation.
Also, don't forget, no cricket ground actually has specific dimensions, right? So,
Yeah.
it might actually be longer.
Say, for example, at the Arun Jaitley Stadium, maybe it may be about 400-500 meters.
500 odd, because that's one of the smaller grounds also.
I think so. Must be around that much.
Okay.
Okay.
Karthik, I think, has given
Yeah,
us
that's
a
Karthik
super
K.
chat. Yep.
He says that Jokic, I think that's a basketball player, says looks athletic, plays 82 games and won.
Unathletic.
Unathletic.
Unathletic, sorry, plays 82 games, yet won 2 back-to-back MVPs, almost won 3. Plays in Colorado's altitude where it's hard to deliver oxygens to muscle and brain. So, looking unfit doesn't really matter.
Agreed.
Right?
Good point.
Exactly.
Good point.
Ratnesh Gaur, same. Fitness doesn't mean just six packs, good muscles, and all. But it's also about how many matches a player missed due to injury.
That's a good point. Which is why I say that Virat, in that sense, is. That's why I said when you say that, that statement of that Rohit is not unfit. I agree with it. I think he gets a lot of bad press unfairly. I agree. But then to say in the same breath he's as fit as Virat, also I will not agree, because just look at how many matches has Virat missed because of a fitness issue.
Yes.
Barely any. Barely. He's always fit, always available. So that also puts him much higher than most other players that we talk about.
Ashish Ranjan is saying, if Rohit is fit, then why he is rested every month? After 2019 World Cup, I have never seen him play regularly. He's injured every now and then. Ashish, are you sure of that last statement that you're making? He's injured every now and then? Because remember, we did talk about workload management. Workload management and getting injured is two different things altogether. The last physical injury that I can recollect that Virat Kohli had was 6 years ago, which forced him to miss a test.
No, he's talking about Rohit, not...
Rohit also. The Bangladesh series, that was a freak injury. He couldn't have done anything about it. That's why he got injured at the most inopportune time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's mostly been workload management. In the case of Rohit and Virat, Rohit Bangladesh series, but Virat, I think 6 years back he had suffered an injury, and I think that forced him to miss a match. I don't think any other injury he's had ever since then. So any other Ashish Dhar. Rohit's mental fitness counts more than his physical fitness. Physical fitness is important, but mental toughness can be possessed only by some.
Very good point.
Valid point.
But I think a new age cricketer or a professional sports person needs to have both. So you can't have an either or. You'd have to, be completely fit. I think somebody there, when we were down there, pointed, I think, Messi and Ronaldo example, which is a very good example, because in that you will see Ronaldo, who's supremely fit, but fit conventionally. But if you look at Messi, who does not look like the most fittest guy there, but is he ever short in terms of pace when he's running? Is he short in terms of stamina when he's playing? Is he short in terms of toughness that he can't, ward off defenders? In all of that, he ticks the boxes. So my point is, if you've got good enough fitness to play that sport, that tells you that you could be the best in that.
Exactly.
Right? You don't have to be. Again, I think you can't compare it to Ronaldo, because Ronaldo is another level of fitness, but that's something that he excels at, right?
Yep.
Messi won't be. But there's nothing there to suggest that Messi is not fit enough to play football. On the contrary, everyone would want to be as fit as him to be playing football. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. KK is like saying, Nick sir, you can't compare previous version of player today version. After pandemic, Rohit is not as fit as before he used to be. Due to this, he got many injuries during foreign tours. See, that 2020 situation, hamstring, IPL he sustained, but then he played the final. Miscommunication between the BCCI and the franchisee, he missed 2 tests.
No, my point is always you're going to see missing these games as the reason that someone's not fit. Hardik Pandya misses a lot of games, doesn't mean he's not fit, no?
Exactly.
But look at his body, you get...
Body type matters.
Exactly.
Someone like a Shreyas Iyer is not an unfit player. Conventionally, he looks very fit.
He is, 6-pack abs, everything else, but
body type...
injuries are different, right? I'm talking about fitness. Fitness is something you can see on the ground.
Yeah.
If he's not fit enough to be batting the whole day of a test match, by all means, question him. If he's not fit enough to, after 30 runs in an ODI game says, I can't run anymore and, it's on his haunches or plays a tired shot to get out because he just wants to go inside, then by all means, none of that has happened.
Yep.
So.
And also he missed England in 2022 because he got COVID. He didn't get a physical injury, he got COVID. And remember, if you get COVID, it's just your bad luck. That's the thing. So it's not as if he is very unfit.
Correct.
So, final questions?
Yep.
Okay.
Jokic we took, Karthik case. Prabhu's...
Saying that how is he the highest run getter in both WTC cycles? No, we can...
Prabhu, yeah, exactly.
Agree with you.
A lot of people have pointed out that we're Rohit Sharma's PR, and it's amazing that we're getting this comment because the other day when we had the debate about T20 and I said that if Rohit is playing, no chance I'm going to leave Virat out. A lot of people say Virat's PR, so it's good we're doing PR for both. I just hope my correct UPI address is reaches them.
I have also got to send to both of them. Please, we are doing PR. They are making us aware of a different KRA which even our bosses here didn't tell us. Are we supposed to do?
Bosses themselves guilty of doing that.
I know. Seriously, we didn't know that this was a KRA, but thank you for telling us this hidden thing.
Chalo.
Yeah.
On that note,
Oof,
thank you guys for joining us. Another edition of the Dugout. Hopefully tomorrow we get the game. If we do, the game starts at 8:30. We'll be live 7:45 as always.
Yep.
Look forward to your company. I want to see this young team. I've been saying this again and again. Weather gods, what do you do?
Yeah, please.
Give us a game tomorrow, please.
Yep.
We want to talk about some cricket. We want to watch some cricket.
Exactly. Chalo, from me, Nikhil and Shane, it's bye-bye. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Day. Tap that bell icon, please. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.